what you don't know, and that I've never said publicly before, is that I used to deal with a lot of anxiety. In my quiet space, I developed self-inflicting pain habits, and my minor OCD became more obsessive. And it was silent pain, nobody else could see it. And on stage, I could still be who I truly was, but inside I was really battling this terrible mind game. I remember back in high school when I was part of these all-star, invite-only music programs, hundreds would apply and only 12 of us would get in. Excitement came with it, but I also got my first glimpse into the gossip and the put-downs that would float around the music world, and especially among my peers. And I honestly don't think any of us enjoy being in that vulnerable state, but to a 14-year-old girl who was surrounded by all dudes, this hit extra hard. I've always been a super happy person, and I love to bring good vibes wherever I go. So this period where negative energy started to eat away at me, and all of a sudden, I was noticing this artistic bubble of everybody saying, it's all about me, 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 and I'm so much better than them. Why did they get that? And that was just never natural for me. I knew from experiences I had with performing live and from my mentors that encouragement and positivity were things that I resonated with. But man, I battled with these thoughts. I battled with the thoughts of others tearing each other down instead of lifting each other up. And the more I thought about competition and scarcity, the worse my anxiety and OCD would become. But the moments I was truly at peace was when I was on stage making music or burying my head in an orchestration book. That was when I was utterly captivated and curious and content. It was in those moments that I was focusing on the most important thing, the music. And when I stripped away that little devil on my shoulder that kept bringing up thoughts of everyone else and comparisons and thoughts of failure, I could finally feel a little bit more free. And I realized if I could just do this for myself, if I could be 100% into the music and do the very best I could do in that moment, I could be proud of myself, because after all, the music is so much bigger than all of us as individuals. Well, the exciting thing is there were opportunities that came into my life that spoke to that new path of thinking. Like when I was 18, the US Embassy sent me to Madagascar to be a musical ambassador, and it was an incredible trip. I was making music with the locals and hipping them to who Louis Armstrong was. We were sharing all these smiles together, and it felt bigger than just one performance. It was worlds coming together, and interaction, and music, and light bulb moments. Well, fast forward to this past year, and I was gifted with another incredible opportunity with a lot of those feelings. I was asked to perform at an annual gala for a nonprofit called She's the First. I met the co-founder years ago when I was a winner for Glamour magazine's Top 10 College Women. She's the First is an amazing nonprofit that supports girls' education all around the world, especially low-income countries. Well, when they asked me to be their featured performer, I dove a lot deeper into what they do, and I was so inspired. I was inspired by the lives that they had directly touched and how every day this core team would go to work for others, and they would give. Their positive change was undeniable, and all I knew was that I wanted to be a part of that. I write songs about people and events and things that inspire me. And so a song flew out of me, and I called it She's the First. I got a team of wonderful producers to produce it with me, and then gifted them the song, saying that all the proceeds would go directly to their scholarship. Well, then we made a beautiful music video featuring a lot of their girls, and suddenly they were the ones moved to tears. I've always believed that music is such a powerful medium. Ever since I was 7 years old, this is me at the piano writing my first song, I told myself it was my mission to have my music reach as many people as possible and for it to be a healing tool. This is me at 10, my first recital. Couldn't hold the sax. And then I was singing. This is the first time in the studio, writing songs and playing saxophone. But I truly believe that. I believe music is this incredible vibrational force, and it brings us all together. We sing songs in celebration, we sing songs in despair, and sometimes when we don't have the words to speak it, we can still sing it and get our emotion across. So all of a sudden, this song, She's the First, was reaching even more people than the organization. And messages were coming in, some from girls around the globe who were singing the song every day as they walked to school. They used it as their anthem, and through all the hardships they were facing. I had a message from someone saying it was her 5K marathon song run, and she played it as she crossed the finish line. Others telling me it was the song on repeat that helped them get through the election. And with every message that came in, it brought so much joy to my heart. And a very interesting thing happened. I had a very subconscious shift, and I realized my anxiety and pain habits and OCD were at an all-time low, and I was feeling great. And I was realizing that if I can just follow my bliss and bring that positive change with the gift that I was born with, then I can feel more at ease. And it was by focusing on the outside world, the bigger world outside of myself, that ultimately gave me that divine inspiration and insight.